Ahoy, Captains! It's Vaz again with another video from World of Warships Legends. And today we are in the German cruiser Siegfried. This is the Tier 7 Premium Battle Cruiser. And we are in a game of Capture the Base in a Tier 6 and 7 match on the map Atlantic. Now in this match we have no destroyers. The tactics are always interesting when there are no destroyers in a match. It's up to the cruisers to do some spotting when possible, and perhaps get some help from some aggressive battleships with their spotter planes as well. Sometimes there won't be a chance to spot safely, so you need to show a lot of patience to be successful in these types of matches. You don't want to jump out in the open to look for enemies only to be focused down by their entire team. Now we have the dreaded middle spawn, and on this map there's nothing really good to hide behind at all, so most of the time you have to keep moving. We see two cruiser teammates to our north and two battleships to the south, so we head south to even out the cruiser numbers. When I'm undetected at the beginning of matches, I'll go full broadside to the enemy just to get where I need to go as fast as possible. And then when I've been detected, I'll adjust my trajectory because I know shells will be coming at me. Turning away from the shells can be dangerous, just like turning away from torpedoes. So if you do turn out, do it right away. The reason being, when you do turn away, you lift your citadel higher out of the water, making it easier for your enemies to dev strike you. Turning in is going to be the safest way to avoid long distance shells. Sometimes if you do react late, turning in can sometimes reduce damage from the incoming shells. Now on our way over there, we just couldn't help ourselves. We had to engage the middle spawn on the enemy team and take some opportunistic shots. We did get some damage, and we didn't really take much in return. The damn Cleveland did light us on fire, though, and we'll see him again later on, don't worry. But our main goal here is to reinforce the southern flank and to try and get far enough away from the northern ship so we don't get shot at by two different sides. We want to try and keep everything in front of us. The damn Cleveland was still within our range, though, as we were headed over there. And because he was broadside, we just couldn't help ourselves. We still tried to take some shots at him. And there was a low health Colorado over there somewhere, too. Lost his detectability for a moment, which was kind of interesting. Again, going back to the lack of spotting due to no DDs in the match. But he did reappear when he was at very low health, and we tried to finish him off, but one of our teammates did instead. Now, due to our legendary skill, Refill Station, and our proximity to our friendly ships, our range has been extended, and we're able to take a few more shots at that broadside turrets before we start engaging the ships on this flank. Now, we did finally make it to cover behind this big island here, and it feels like we just hit the trenches because our other three teammates are all huddled up here too. I don't blame them though, because there's some serious firepower in front of us in the form of that CNOP and an Iowa on the other side of the island. This is where that patience I was talking about early in the match is going to pay off. See how their CNOP is going broadside to our entire team, and he just took a pounding. That's exactly what we want to avoid. Unfortunately, our Gneisenau teammate found that out the hard way. And in a second here, one of the enemy ships is going to find out the hard way as well that it doesn't pay off to be too aggressive. There's nothing wrong with playing aggressively, just don't play too aggressively, because then you'll end up just throwing your ship away for no reason. So the idea here now is just to work on that CNOP and try and eliminate him before moving on to the next ship while remaining out of the sights of that Iowa. And down goes that CNOP to our friendly Vlad. So now we enjoy the numbers advantage over here, 4 against 2. And it'll give us more options for as to how we go about things. But in the meantime, we're just gonna reverse our course because here comes the enemy Siggy on a suicide run. Oh no, boys and girls, this is exactly what you don't want to do. So we're gonna line up some torps on him, and we just couldn't help ourselves. Look at that Cleveland in the distance there, sailing broadside. That's a different Cleveland from the one before. And so we got a shot of AP out on him, and it was totally worth it, hitting him with a Citadel. And bingo, all four of our torpedoes hit that Siegfried. But boy, he took them like a champ. He is still surviving. Getting our next shot off on him, aiming for the deck armor because he was at a very nice angle to us. Unfortunately, we didn't get a whole lot of results, but we did get a little bit of damage. His heal is working overtime. It is healing back a lot of health on him. But now he is swarmed by 4 ships. And he is not long for this world. Unfortunately, we weren't able to get the finishing blow on that Siegfried. That's too bad because that would have been a Kraken for us. But oh well, this ends up still being a pretty great match. We did take a shot in the bum there from the Iowa, I think. But we kind of had to take something in that engagement. Especially because we didn't want to go completely broadside to the Iowa or the Siegfried. And so I think it ended up being the best case scenario. Unfortunately, now we're caught in open water against this Iowa. So we got to do some kiting. This is something I don't do too often anymore. You won't see this in many of my videos. I used to do it a lot when I first started playing the game. Especially grinding all those light cruisers in the tech trees. But it's just not my style. And so I only really do it when it's absolutely necessary. We're hoping to take cover behind that island and lose our detectability. And while we're doing that, why don't we get our commander up on the screen? We have time while we reposition ourselves, so why not? Our commander in this match is the Azure Lane Admiral Hipper. And if you want, feel free to send me a thank you down in the comments below for not using her super annoying voiceover. I don't mind the Azure Lane voiceovers, although the Hipper one is one of the more annoying ones. But I don't like using them because I have no clue what they're saying. And at least with the other languages, you sort of get used to what they're saying and you can react a little bit better. But anyways, we used a whole mishmash of skills there, including Ingenious. And our inspirations were Scott and Yamamoto. And now that this Iowa is on life support here, we're going to make our push. He's also focused on one of our teammates, so we don't have to worry about our positioning too much. But we were able to chip in some damage on him. And we did actually get the killing blow on him, and that got us our first kill of the match. I do apologize if you do hear some background noise. There is a rainstorm in Vancouver here. And holy smokes, is it ever coming down. Anyways, back to the match. That Suzuki had popped out there, and we sort of engaged with him a little bit before he lost his detectability behind the island. But what do we have here on our port side? Our old friend that Cleveland has beached himself pretty badly here, and we get our fangs out. But did you see that trolley German dispersion on that first shot there? Where in the hell were those shells going? We won't be deterred though. We're going to try and find that Citadel one way or another. And wow, he really has beached himself nicely. He cannot go anywhere. And this is the problem with any German ship, of course. Trolley dispersion. But that wasn't a problem for our rear turret of justice. Finally found his Citadel. And who knows, maybe that helped knock him loose. But it's going to be too little too late. As when our front turrets reload, we're able to finish him off. And that is our second kill of the match. We're up almost at 1,2,3,000 in damage there. And Unfortunately, we were picking out our next target, and we didn't see that little island in front of us. The indicator and the mini-map kind of covered it up. But we ended up losing our detectability, so no harm, no foul. Then we're gonna get going again, try and finish off these last two ships. We still do have the advantage. We're up 3 ships to 2. It's kind of funny the way we have them on the run there, with the 3 of our ships all closing in from 3 different sides. We had 1 surviving ship from the northern flank, 1 surviving ship ourselves from the middle flank, and 1 surviving ship from the southern flank. All cruisers too. Now, due to the angle and distance of the last remaining 2 enemy ships, we decided to swap over to HE and see if we might be able to get some better results. Sometimes when these high tier cruisers are angled properly, especially that Cleveland, I don't know, for whatever reason, it's just super hard to get any penetrations on them with AP. But again, it's all just a matter of patience. We'll wait for one of them to make a mistake and show broadside, and then we'll swap back over to AP and really start letting the damage fly. We're also not really too worried about either of these 2 ships really putting the hurting on us in 1 salvo. Our armor is good enough that if they were using AP, we'd be able to bounce their shells without any trouble. So when we can, we'll might as well get our back turret involved. Of course, we don't want to make it easy on them by sailing in straight lines. So we do continue to maneuver our ship to try and avoid unnecessary damage. And there we go, that Suzuya finally showed us some pretty decent broadside there, and we were able to finish him off with the Citadel, and that got us our 3rd kill of the match. Now all that's left is that Cleveland. So what do you guys think about the Siegfried? I assume you're interested in the ship, and that's why you probably clicked on the video. Personally, I really liked it. I thought it was a perfect campaign reward ship. Especially when I believe it was the campaign before, or maybe 2 campaigns before it, the Azuma was the campaign ship. And honestly, the Siegfried is everything I wanted the Azuma to be. It was a lot more maneuverable, has better armor, has a quicker reload, doesn't have the worst turret traverse in the friggin' game, and actually has torpedoes. To me, the Siegfried's a very versatile ship. You can do a little bit of brawling in it, and you can even do a little bit of kiting in it if you really had to. I won't be surprised if it were the type of ship that were added as a global XP ship in the future. And one of our last shots there net us the high caliber medal against Cleveland. That should be about it for him. Looks like he's given up. He's going full broadside to us. And we oblige his surrender. And finish him off. Then that's our 4th and final kill of the game. And the win for our team. So after a little bit of a slow start, that ended up being a very nice game in the Siegfried. We ended up with over 152,000 in damage, 4 kills, and the high caliber medal. We finished at the top of the leaderboard for our team with over 3,200 in XP. Feel like we were also not too far off of a Confederate medal in that game. We were probably pretty close to one of those. And on the economy tab, with the rare credit booster, we end up landing ourselves 500,000 credits in that match. Very nice for a tier 7 premium match. Well, if you did like that video, go ahead and hit that thumbs up button. If you want to see more of my videos, hit that subscribe button. Feel free to leave a comment down below. And as always, stay healthy and do what makes you happy.